What's up YouTube, it's Big Fish here with another reaction video. Today, we're in Dearborn, Michigan, and it seems like Muslims are taking over. And what that comes is with their religion and with their law. And they're trying to get Sharia law inside of Dearborn. Now, that doesn't look good for women. And it doesn't definitely look good for Americans. So let's see what the people are protesting about.
We are promoting peace through strength. We keep on rolling down and showing our bellies to the Muslims, and they take us over more and more each year. Peace through strength. Everybody knows it's
Far-right anti-Muslim activist Jake Lang speaking to a large crowd outside Dearborn Centennial Library tonight before addressing City Council. Good evening, I'm Rup Raj. We're covering this story from all angles tonight. Coming up, we'll be speaking live to U.S. Senate nominee Abdul Al-Sayed, as well as state representatives on both sides of the political spectrum, law enforcement experts, legal experts, and community activists. A lot going on tonight, but we have live team coverage tonight with Fox 2's Dave Spencer and Dave Kinchin. Both have been on the scene all afternoon. Now let's get live to Fox 2's Dave Spencer, who is in the middle of a lot of that chaos. And Dave, overall, the 30,000-foot view here, was this a successful police presence that enabled them to have their protests without a lot of unrest?
I think if you would ask them, this went off without a hitch in their minds. They knew that there would be a large contingent of people coming right here to the Henry Ford Centennial Library, and they knew they had to be prepared, and we saw that in action.
Real quick, this is what a peaceful protest looks like, unlike LA and Minneapolis and Chicago, these crazy places, Boston as well.
Quiet now, as you could see. In fact, they came by with a loudspeaker just about a half hour ago, the police did, and notified the people that were still hanging out here that the meeting is over, it's time to come home. Well, we saw them comply with that order and then get on their way, and it's been quiet ever since. We did know that there were a number of arrests, or a number of people that were at least taken into custody after some skirmishes broke out. We witnessed that firsthand. Police did confirm that to us, that there were a number of people taken into custody. So let's kind of walk us through the day. So right around 6 o'clock, that is when Jake Lang made his appearance here. He was set to go speak before the city council meeting. The city council moved from its regular chambers in anticipation of the large crowd and moved to the Henry Ford Centennial Library, and that's where a lot of the protests were set up, right outside of the Centennial Library. And we saw a number of bike racks set up as a perimeter around this. Well, those bike racks, those initial ones, were breached by some supporters who were following Lang in as he made his way to the front of the library. The problem is they were letting people in around the back, so they weren't allowing anybody in. So when those two forces met, they were pushed back by the police. In fact, I did witness a couple people wince back, rubbing their eyes as if they had some sort of spray in their face, and then they got back. Then we saw moments after that, police come out in full-fledged riot gear, set a perimeter, a half circle around there, and that's kind of where things kind of maintained for the rest of the evening until the meeting was adjourned. So for 4 hours or so, these collisions between what would be Lang supporters and then the other side would kind of spar on and off. They would kind of get contentious at times. Police would have to intervene at times, and then they would step back the perimeter. We watched those riot police in unison step back. We saw mounted police, all of this to keep an effort of making sure everyone's safety was first and foremost. And that pretty much transpired for the length and the duration of the meeting. And then again, as I mentioned, they came back out here. The police did mention, as we watched another group from the other people protesting walk down Michigan Avenue from west to east, make their way outside of the Centennial Library as things turn from.
Which still blows my mind is that we still can't have discussions that can be peaceful without police intervention. That we need police because some people get so into their emotions that they feel that if they lose an argument or they feel like their point's not coming across, that they have to attack you. What in your common sense mind makes you think that you can do anything like that? And that's what leads to people getting hurt, put in a hospital, comas, broken body parts, or even death. And it's that you can't have a protest, well, not a protest, but I guess you call this a protest. You can't have a protest without people who want to harm you for what things you're saying, and which is true.
From light to dark, and have a mild protest out here as well. some skirmishes there, very few after that, and then the peaceful protest came to a conclusion, and that's where we stand now. We're going to have to wait to hear from police to get the final numbers on how many people were arrested, if there were any injuries, anything to that, but there wasn't anything that you could point to say this was a failure here. From most part, it was a very successful demonstration. There was a lot of leeway when it came to free speech, and it was directed at all people, including the police. Some of that hatred and vicious talk, and they stood their ground, and they.
But who's the first person you call when you're in trouble? To the police or the emergency room so you can get an ambulance. But yeah, it's crazy. Why disrespect the people who serve and protect? Yeah, you might have some bad interaction with cops, but not all the same. When I was a kid and I had interaction with cops, I knew not to bust a move. Be cool. Have all your identification.
Understood that was a First Amendment right, and then they went on their way. And we'll have to see in the days to follow what, if anything, may come of this. Reporting live in Dearborn tonight, Dave Spencer, Fox 2 News.
Yeah, I guess overall this was a tremendous police presence. Dearborn police, not their first rodeo. They've seen this before. They've dealt with this before, and they were ready on every front, from the inside of the building to the out.
Yeah, it wasn't the first time Lang has been here either. As you might remember, he burned a Koran and put it on social media. So they kind of knew what was ahead of them, and then the supporters that he would draw. So they definitely had a plan, and that plan was put into action, and we saw it firsthand. All
right, our Dave Spencer for us live tonight. Dave, thank you.
I don't agree about burning the Koran. Yes, it's not the Christian way as far as how it's used, but yeah, he should not have burnt the Koran. Just using your voice, being outspoken, and having your supporters. But yeah, burning stuff, no. Just like when people burn the American flag, no, just don't do it. It's not worth it. Why? You live here.
Our team coverage does continue with Fox News' Dave Kinchin, also live in Dearborn. He's been covering this all evening long. And Dave, there were some dramatic pictures, dramatic scenes that unfolded. You were live in the middle of it. Tell us how that went here tonight.
Yeah, we were even in the middle of a fight. It got pretty chaotic at times out here, but I can say certainly it's calm now. You can take a look behind me here. There's a few people hanging out. Those are the barricades that were used earlier today at the Henry Ford Centennial Library. There were a lot of different people out here for these demonstrations. We did see civilians with weapons that look like AK-47s, pistols, people who had their sidearms on them, of course, concealed carry and that sort of thing here. All of this prompted by the arrival of white nationalist Jake Lang and the Christian Crusader March organized by him and Detroit pastor Lorenzo.
That's crazy. A white nationalist. Why? Because he's going against a different religion that should be brought into America. Quite honestly, we should all be under one religion, Christianity. I'm sorry. That's what we were founded on. And once again, Sharia law for women, y'all not even y'all treat us half a person. And I know they don't want that. Look what everything they fought for. Do I agree with everything? Hell to no, because feminism has destroyed over here in America and just in the Western world in general. But Sharia law? Oh yeah, you don't want that. A white nationalist. So what about if I was out there, and the shoes were reversed? Would I be a black nationalist? What would you call me?
Tool. Now, the move was made. They moved, of course, this city council meeting, as
I love that sign.
Spencer said, from City Hall to the Henry Ford Centennial Library for a few reasons. More availability in terms of seating, but also a way to deal with crowd control and enhance the opportunities for public comment and free speech while enhancing the opportunity for more public safety. We saw police officers on top of the library. Never seen that before. before. This type of rally has happened at least 3, maybe 4 times now. Never seen police on the rooftops, though, looking down, communicating with officers below in uniform and plain clothes, as well as officers on bicycles and on mounted patrol, too. Now, Lange's controversial message of Christian nationalism was met with a message of peace and inclusion by Dearborn city officials. Listen in.
Muslims go home before we send you home. We have cruise ships, we have planes, we have trains, and we're going to pack them out with all of the Arabs. You have to go home. We don't want you here.
A group of children walked up, and amongst them was a young boy not older than 6 or 7. And he looked at me and he asked if the quote-unquote crusaders that were coming to kill him. And that little boy reminded me.
Go to the Middle East and see how they treat their people. I don't want to hear that out of his mouth. They kill women, kids, their own man. Please go to the Middle East. This is why you want to come to America. If you're illegal, you got to go. If you were born here, you can stay. That's just how it is. But when you try to start putting your religion, you try to implement your religion and the way of life that you ran away from, you got to go, honestly. Even if you are a citizen, I could care less. Because we need to be under one umbrella, one team. We're so divisive in this country. It's so sad to see. We've done so much positive things already. Endless positive things. But it is what it is.
Me that what is happening outside is not just political theater. Fear has consequences. So tonight, I want to speak directly to him. And I want to speak to every resident of Dearborn who has felt that fear. I want to boldly say that you belong here. That you belong.
Now, the supporters of Jake Lang say, look, this was simply about saying that this is a Christian nation, that Jesus died for the sins of this country, and that this is one nation under God. They say that is their message and that they're standing by it. Of course, many members of the Dearborn community here, business leaders as well as city officials, say they actually encourage a lot of residents in Dearborn not to come out and take part in this demonstration today. And some city officials saying, in their words, don't take the bait as far as some of the presentations that were made here. Again, it did get heated at times. I did see a few people hurt, at least 2 people who fell. We saw at least 1 arrest that we witnessed. There were probably some others. We did see state police swooping in at one point to try to quell a situation as well. So there were some skirmishes here or there. That's happened at these types of things before, but overall, definitely peaceful. Reporting live in Dearborn, Dave Kinchin, Fox 2 News.
It's absolutely wild that we have to protest for these things because some of these cities will let other communities from different nations overrule them. Look at Minneapolis with the Somalians. We have many examples of it. We have to stop this tyranny, quite honestly, because every time that these certain groups start taking over a community, they start frauding, they start scamming, they start taking hard-earned tax-paying dollars and stuff in their pockets. Yeah, it happens in America as well. Well, with Americans as well. They scheme, they plot, they steal. But now when you have a added group on there, and you have these sympathizers that think, oh, it's okay, because look at the government, they're doing it. We got to cut that out. And we have to get these people who do not support our nation, America as a whole, out of here. You got to go. All right, go down to the comment section. Tell me how you felt about the video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you. Peace.